Hello, friends! Of course, I dropped something immediately. Hello, friends, and welcome to Express Lane, the show that brings you speedruns in 60 minutes or less. I'm your host, Oscar424, and I do have occasional guest appearances with, nobody, because this is not normally where I say hi from. I'm in an undisclosed location, aka work. So yeah, hello, welcome. We have an awesome show today that I will get to in just a second, but first and foremost, I do have to remind you that there is a little marathon called Awesome Games Done Quick 2025, and it's going to be live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from January 5th to the 12th. Registration and hotel booking are now open. Right now, yes, right now. So after the show, go to gamesdonequick.com and check the GDQ 2025 important dates section to learn all about that. But the night is young, and it's time to go hunting, because we are hunting vampires. It's not the first one for certain reasons. But looking at the schedule right now, we have, let's see here, we have Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, we've got Helsing, we've got Castlevania II Simon's Quest, and to start things off, we are going to be passing out over to Vin with a run of BloodRayne, so take it away!
Thanks, Jessica. So, hey, my name is Vin, and I really love to run this game. So, basically, we play as a half-vampire, a damper, and we're on a mission to find Papa. So, essentially, time just starts as soon as I hit hard mode here, and I'll give you a heads up for when time ends, and I'll just get into it when I get into it. So, in 3, 2, 1, go. So... Okay, well, just for level 1, naturally, we just gotta kind of do things normal. We have a very small arsenal, which is just our blades here. We'll be using that, and this will be the main kind of movement we'll be using. So, jumps, blade, like twirl, kind of like a twister. And because we're also doing this in hard mode, so we're going to be doing a little bit of a different kind of movement, which, you know, we take a lot of damage from water, which is why we start off the game in Waterworld in Louisiana. And this is the first skip. We got it through here. And that was a little skip that was actually found by Hackigan. Initially, we had to go over, like, at that weird creature over in the corner and get kind of pushed out of the wall. And now, thankfully, we just got something like that's way quicker. So in terms of getting this game kind of up and ready for running, this one's kind of a bit of an anomaly. You're kind of allowed just say, hey, we have to use a program just to kind of increase the speed of the game. And once you increase the speed, the game just goes haywire. It doesn't really know what to do. And you can set it to either at minimum 400 frames per second, or you can set it at max, which, you know, some people have unlimited, mine's at 1000. So I just run the game at 1000 FPS, which allows you to do all these kinds of, like, really cool tricks. And right now we're just kind of like building our Blood Rage, which is like this little bar on the bottom right, so that we can use Blood Rage. And Blood Rage is our ability which it slows down time, but also means that you get extra kind of boosted power. And that is just when the game gets like absolutely broken. Like, it is incredible just how broken it becomes. And that will become pretty apparent after this level. So you'll be seeing me kind of do this on the like tight lining, and that's just so that I can move quicker. So we're kind of almost sort of done, and we just gotta like follow this guy like over here. He has eaten our mentor, and now we're just trying to find him towards the nest, which he is going to. So
it's a casual drop of eating the mentor.
Yeah,
I love that.
I gotta have that sometimes. Or you'll also notice this a lot. Hi, how are you doing up there? Because the frame rate is so high, this will happen pretty occasionally. And there we go, Blood Rage. Because the frame rate is so high, people will just kind of start flying in the air. They'll get kind of like stuck as well. And you get kind of like a whole like assortment of just random stuff. Some of it's pretty hilarious, honestly. There's just kind of a certain amount of things that you gotta be careful of. If you have very important NPCs, you gotta make sure that they don't kind of go out of bounds or like in the air and stuff. Because otherwise they become invincible. So this one you're just gonna move left or right, go into Blood Rage, take out a leg, slash, and their hell just smells like butter. And welcome to level 2. This is when the fun starts. And we start just going through walls and everything, and corners. They become merely just suggestions.
Love it.
For the most part, anyway, it's just kind of taking care of a few objectives. We don't need to take care of all of them. But we do need to act quick. That is the main thing. So you get an insta-kill here if you do this in a very specific way. And you hold back during that cutscene with C, the attack button, so that you kind of start sliding backwards. And you get a little bit of a movement boost. And your speed, I'm going to tight line around here. And completely missed that, that's cool. Gotta love it. Thankfully, these levels are really, really short, for the most part. Like, the quickest level's about actually less than a second because it's an entire cutscene, and you can skip it. I mean, you gotta love stuff like that. But essentially, we're going to be going in and out of bounds just for the most part. Yeah, it's going to be... Okay, cool. Very rarely they can actually just wind up blocking. Oh, I love when you do that. But there we go. We got our Blood Rage as well. I like getting that in this level because you don't have to worry about it in later levels. And the best thing then is just kind of... You can go in bounds like this if you want. But all it does is just, you just kind of go in here, go back out of bounds like here, do this, and then, hey, that's it. So these little things you just gotta hit, they're at the end of the level. You can shoot them too. Sometimes you just gotta aim and miss every shot. Sometimes that happens. It's very common in one level. If you get the shot, it's actually pretty cool. And a lot of tight lining. There will be a lot of tight lining. For whatever reason, just when you're going into that, like, perception, when everything's, like, really, really slow, that's when the damage boost just goes absolutely insane. Like, it's really, really high. And that is why we set our... Sorry?
Oh, I'm just fascinated how just simple you're making all of these, like, wall hacks look. Or just going through the wall like no big deal. Quick shimmy, done.
Yeah, it's best when they melt like butter. It's why I really, really enjoy running this game, because one, it's a really quick run. It's like 20 minutes or less on a good time, on a good day. There is the issue every now and then that you might bonk Rayne's head. And this is a really weird skip. You go through the corners, sort of, and then you turn 180 degrees while jumping up. And you wind up on top of the actual area itself, out of bounds, and then you just kind of jump back in. But you have to be very, very careful in the upcoming section here, which is through this wall. You want to do like a fraction of a jump like that and go in. Because if you wind up on top, then you soft lock yourself and you gotta do it all over again.
Asshole.
And there was thankfully another little trick that was found. Usually we used to have to go through the entirety of a boss here. Now we just go through this little corner here. This side is the safest. And you just want to jump on top of this, maybe do like half a jump. And then up, jump here, and then one shot, and then that's the entire level. The next level, you kind of want to hit slow-mo as soon as the level loads, so escape twice, and then slow-mo. Because this is Rayne's counterpart, essentially. She's just like, I am the blood countess kind of thing, and we're just usually meant to like fight her. You can let her kind of catch up like this and just slash. And that's another thing that you can do. And just kind of do that. And then melt through all these barriers, and then one big leap over here, and the level. Escape twice, and you just work your way here.
We landed on a whole bunch of bodies. What?
I don't mind them, they're fine.
They tried to get through the butter walls before the butter was like nice and melted.
Exactly. If you're quick enough after hitting the elevator thing, like obviously there's not meant to be water there or anything, but because we're skipping a bunch of trigger points, we're just not seeing what we're meant to. But if you're quick enough there, the trigger to actually end the level is just still in the center point of that elevator. Like you're low enough that it'll work. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but yeah, you know, it's pretty fun. I'm glad it's quick. It's quick. That's all that matters to me. With
it
this
works.
one,
it's fine. Don't ask questions.
Absolutely. We don't got time for that. Don't think, just do. This one I'm going to be doing the more kind of safer method. Like, you can go on the right-hand side or you can just go through here. At the time, like, honestly, when you just kind of start perfecting stuff, they're kind of equal. This one maybe is about, like, slower by like a fraction of a second. For whatever reason, in this particular area, the level, the out-of-bounds section extends to the floor. I again, don't know why. Usually you would just kind of tightline the walls here up until that same area when I go back inbounds, and then you just kind of aim. These weird little noodly guys as well, they're called daymites, and they're very random whenever they want to come out. So I'm going to do YOLO strat. And yeah, we should be good. Half a jump. Leap. There we go. And then that's the YOLO skip. There's like 3 different ways in total of getting that level. You can do it the legit way. And oh, heck yeah. Okay, I love getting 3 rockets off that guy. Again, it's really random. He will just start like firing them at you, and sometimes he can one-tap you. That's when it gets really unfortunate, but you know, if you got like 2 rockets, that's pretty much enough. If you got 1, you can make it work. I like having 3 because there is 2 ways of doing a skip here. One is with the rocket, one is just using your gun to kind of shoot the end level. Everything that we've been kind of like shooting in general, it doesn't matter what it is, just so long as you hit it. The blast radius, once you hit it, it'll allow you into the next level.
Oh, wow.
It's really just one of those weird things. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3. And then we just gotta leave. We gotta get out of here. We've collected like a demonic artifact that has just decided, you know what, I'm gonna be your eyeball now. And just ear warning for like the next like 8 seconds, it's gonna be a little bit of an explosion and then back to normal. So cover your ears. And that's it. I love audio leveling in the early 2000s. It didn't exist for so many titles.
Right. Oh, I feel that in my soul right now.
Oh, god dang. With that one though, with the explosion that's kind of following us, you kind of want to do, like, time this movement as soon as the explosion is about to happen. So when you hear that, you know, deep kind of sound effect, that's when you gotta do the twirl. If you don't, you kind of stumble, and sometimes, you know, the fire might get you, and you don't really want that.
Oh, better get up.
Again, no skips has, like, really been found for that section, but yeah, so we just gotta do it normally. This one, 2 ways of doing it. You can do it like this, or you can go towards, like, a different corner, and then that's kind of it. So we're in Germany now, and we got some more objectives to kind of take care of, but we'll only be taking care of a few of them. So usually you're meant to be taking out all the objectives, which, you know, these little guys over here, you got their little health bars. Reynolds tissue's not done here. She is, actually. Because we're just going to be melting through walls as well. Sometimes things don't look like corners, but they count as corners. It's very rare.
Everything is butter. Everything's butter.
Everything is butter and jelly. Like, here.
I love it.
You gotta be really careful sometimes just going through the corners here. Because otherwise you'll fall down underneath the castle area, and you need to be kind of on this level. And if that happens, then you're just better off restarting the level entirely. But with this one, we do actually have to drop down level. So in here, do that. And break the boxes, because right now, no trigger, and then all of a sudden trigger. And there's another objective here. Oh, he was really close to the door. Thank you. And you'll be seeing a lot more of these other, like, werewolf-looking creatures, but they're vampires. They're just a little fuzzy. They grew up in the region, and it's just like, hey, we're gonna be really strong and one-tap you. And you can do this, and you can do like this. I'm just gonna ignore that guy. And that's just like 2 ways of exiting the level over here. And I hope you like mechs, because we have a mech section.
Or why not?
So, it's why not, you know? Now, these guys sometimes will really help you. They can work with you or against you. With this guy here. So, the mechs, they work so weirdly. There's like a hit, like the section inside a hit detection, like a box inside a box, and the vampires can one-tap you as well in the mechs, but nevertheless. You kind of want to aim sort of at a 3/4 angle when approaching them, and then kind of like tap, so you do it like that, sort of. Not just moving like constantly. Because you do like so much damage. You'll probably see it like way more once we get to the main objective, dude.
I love how Chad's cluing in right on like all the mechs. It's like, yeah, every good vampire game has a mech section.
You gotta just have something different, I guess.
Early 2000s gotta have mechs.
It's got it all.
I'm just sad that the mech is destroying the gates and not like glitching through.
This is probably the slowest level, because it kind of depends as well. And as you can see, we're taking a lot more damage as well. So on hard mode, particularly with like 1,000 FPS and running at this guy who just runs in circles in such a way that you can't actually catch up with him. Gotta love it. So
what is the difference between the different? So there's, I think, easy, medium, and hard. Like, is it just a damage taken difference, or are there other things to it?
It's a damage taking difference. The higher your frame rate, it's like high risk, high reward.
Gotcha.
And this is now when we're going to the main guy. We have enough health. We can live. You can kind of go through here and just like squeeze through. It saves a little bit of time. But you also got to be kind of careful of your health in hard mode. If it's about this, it's fine. Just be kind of careful. This guy loves to shoot his rocket into the wall, so you're usually okay. What we're going to try and do is get him to not back all the way to the start. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to, like, the health is just melting away, like this. There we go. Really? Oh no. I think it's a one-hit kill scenario. No, we might have enough actually. You know what? Let's pray to the orangey gods that this will actually, for whatever reason, we just don't jump out of the mech. We gotta go up to this podium. Because otherwise Ranger's like, nah, I don't feel like it. And these guys eviscerate your health in hard mode. So we're gonna be trying our best here, but we'll see how far it gets us. We're actually really close to, that was like the end of the level. I gotta love it. Anyway, new chance. Because these guys can actually just one-hit the guy over here. No, you don't do that, no. And this guy's just hanging out. Why? Buddy, come on. You gotta be nice. You gotta be nice. For one day. I just want you to work for me. I'm gonna show everybody just how actually easy this level can be. It's just so RNG heavy, unfortunately. And one way is as well of just like reducing taking damage, obviously, is just don't move. Just stay still. And that way you're not going to be taking as much damage from the mechs, and you'll be able to say, hey, got lots of health for that dude that we gotta fight. I was trying to play it really, really risky though. And you know, sometimes that method just really does pay off. I actually almost had a PB. But nevertheless,
oh, wow.
It is what it is. Yeah. Hey, buddy. You wanna blow up? Thank you. He did not blow up, did he? Anyway, I'll take care of this guy, because he just kind of got an inch 3/4 into the guys. Yeah, there we go. He's down. But there is, if you kind of like bump off his stuff as well, for whatever reason, you take like, it's a minuscule amount of damage, but you take a little bit of damage, so it's just something to keep in mind if you're really hurting for some health. And almost back to this guy now too.
That guy just wants to be the main character now.
He really does. Like every run that you do, you just move in impossible circles. My dude, please.
What?
He loves to be the main focus of this entire level.
Oh my gosh.
Not to worry, we're good. Yeah, there we go. How you doing? So he's gonna be instantly like trying to move back. And he's successfully doing so. No. One thing as well that you gotta be kind of careful of, if you kind of move like too close to these podiums and stuff, you can get like kind of boosted up into the air a little bit. So sometimes it doesn't matter. It's like absolutely fine. No need to worry about it. My dude, please, thank you. Okay, we got more health this time because I didn't move. You take like 3 hits if you keep moving forward off of the mechs when they're going down. So this time we got enough. We got enough health. And the more, you know, the less health that you have, the more skeletal your icon will become. So yeah, it's kind of a little indicator as well in and of itself. And after like we get over to this area here, like straight ahead, also the jetpack guy is kind of going. He's having a little party by himself. All right, you do you do. One thing that's really important though in the run is skipping cutscenes as soon as possible, because if you allow the enemies to kind of finish the dialogue and just all the animations and stuff, you can't do some of the tricks, you can't get some quick kills. Mainly because if you skip them quickly, for whatever reason, the game is just like, you know what, this is okay. They don't need to move. You're able to just get a quick kill in.
Wow.
I don't know why it works like this, but yeah. Like if I allowed that to happen, then those bats would be moving into like proper areas and stuff, but nah. I don't feel like it. So
it's wild.
Corners do exist in the weirdest places, including that one.
Wait, what?
That was a corner. I love it.
BG corners. Sure, I thought they were just suggestions.
They really are suggestions. Okay, so the vampires are also bats in this game as well, so hi, how you doing? Oh, we're gonna have to be shooting this guy, huh? For whatever reason, because you don't hit a very specific trigger, you can't slash him, so you can't like just use melee, you gotta use guns. Normally you'd pass through and just kind of eat him, but sometimes he's just like on high alert and you just gotta roll with the punches. And on the way down, you want to grab this little bit of dynamite. Skip a cutscene here. This is the guy that got kidnapped like way at the start of Germany. And also during cutscenes, if you are in the air and you're just trying to like skip something, expect to just plummet. So if you're like over like a chasm, you're probably going to just fall straight through. Hey, unfinished levels. Gotta love it. And we're just gonna be like, normally we're meant to just break down that door there. You can probably see the little like crack in the wall, so to speak. So
why break down the door when you're breaking the game?
Pretty much. Okay, this is great, Orangey. Hedrox, which is this vampire dude, because it's a boss fight. It's not really much of a boss fight, but still. When he comes down, he helps you get rid of all these little like pillars. And if not, you kind of get stuck like shooting stuff. Like it's usually okay, but it's always a great help to just kind of not have to deal so much with shooting and losing ammo. Because you kind of need like quick guns for some of the actual dudes you just want to get a good kill in. So after you like pass that vehicle just at the front, you kind of want to jump in the air, aim, and then shoot. And this kind of might happen. So one guy just might live, and you just gotta be really careful. Because it might be a one-hit kill if you get hit by the rocket. But you can just jump and it's fine. And this bridge is really, really weird. It's got a weird trigger in this game. If you look at the bridge while going forward, it will activate and just kind of snap. Like it will just activate the trigger, but if you look backwards, it doesn't activate the trigger. I don't know. I really don't know. Yes, I need to feed. And this is the point as well where you just don't let them jump on the bridge. Because if the bridge then breaks, then you're kind of stuck having the guy invincible in midair because he can't fall or anything. Alright, how are you doing? Yeah, it's alright. I'll take a little bit of life off this guy. This is probably the only interesting... Well, I say only interesting, but he's one of the main interesting bosses. You injure one of them, it actually affects the other guy. Depending on who you kill first, you get like different dialogue and stuff. It's probably the most interesting one. You can get like a really quick kill, but it's RNG, you know? So cutscene, hit escape, exit your rage mode, and then, because you want to preserve as much of it as possible. And then, that's fine. We just want to go through here. I was wondering when you were going to talk, Wolf. Wolf is one of the... So there's going to be 2 bosses, because we're just at the end here. There's going to be 2 bosses. The first one we're going to take down is a good old demon dude called Blur. And we're just going to get our Blood Rage because we want to be very, very ready for this boss. And don't stand too close or you might blow yourself up. So you want to have like 3 rockets for this guy because it's just handier. And then you want to just like jump up. It's either this one or this one. Sometimes it changes, but there we go. For the grenade launcher, and then you just kind of want to strategically start like entering this mode, which is Beliar's Eye. And it's the only point in the game that you'll ever use this, and you get it in that little weird heart thingy that we jump like into, like a weird hole in the center of the level. That's what we got as a result of that. It's just like, alright, this is my eye now. And we got an extra grenade, that's fantastic. And we kind of just want to shoot. There is a rocket launcher at the top, and sometimes if we're lucky, Wolf comes down here, who's just decided, you know what, I want to... He's just, I don't know, taking a break. He will just refill. He will just, nobody. He'll just randomly refill your weapons. It's kind of cool, actually. But he is trying to kill us as well as Blair. You know, I'm gonna get that rocket. So, motion sickness warning. For the next, like, 2 seconds. Yeah. It's just because of the uncapped frame rate. Yeah, alright. And it is now safe to look at the screen. It's great to one-face this guy, but we just gotta hit it. Okay. Because he grows in size each time that you allow him to kind of do that, and we just want to take him down. Hey, buddy, can you turn around? Because I gotta shoot the heart. Never mind, that was enough. So last boss now. So we're just gonna do this. And that's time.
Wait, what?
So, that was the last boss, sorry.
What? GG! Not expecting that sudden stop.
It's such a weird ending to the game, but yeah, as soon as his health turns to 0, that's it, that's time. I didn't expect it to be as abrupt. I thought maybe he was gonna do his... He can do a slow kill or a fast kill. We got a quick kill. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for letting me show this run. It really is fun.
It was so cool just to see all those the walls don't exist, and yeah, the movement tech was just so fun to watch. But thank you so much. Yeah, where can everybody find you? What are you currently playing? Let everyone know.
You can find me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Venata. And otherwise, you can just catch me on speedrun.com. I do play this game quite a lot as my speed game. I do some variety stuff, but mainly horror related content. Honestly, it's kind of a mixed bag. 1 speedruns, 2 casual runs. It's there. And also shout out then as well to the BloodRayne community. It's very, very small, but you know, it's very helpful. And also shout outs to Hecky for helping try and find new skips and stuff, because hot damn, that really, really did come through. You were able to reduce this run by a lot. With that being said, thank you again very much again, and yeah, have a good see you.
Take care and get some sleep. Definitely get some rest. All right, friends, we will be back with some more vampire fun, but before we take a quick hydration break, I remind you that your subs, your Prime Gaming subs, your subs, and every little bit that you cheer on the GDQ Twitch channel, which is this one right here, helps support Games Done Quick Hotfix and shows like this, like Awfully Silly you saw beforehand, and all the other shows in the week. So if you enjoy watching speedruns, you should definitely consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our emotes and chat with other subscribers during our replays. All right, with that, I'm going to go get a hydration break. You need a hydration break, and we'll Hello again, friends. I hope you listened to me with that hydration break because we still have absolute bangers coming up. However, I have one thing to say before we go to the next one, and that is, did you know that Games Done Quick is hiring? Yes, you can work with us. We're actually looking for with an event programming lead. They'll be responsible for the 10,000 foot view of mainline event schedule. So if you're interested or you know someone that is and would fit the bill, head to gamesdonequick.com/jobs for more info and hurry up because you need to apply before October 26th. So you're running out of time. Speaking of running out of time, I'm running out of time talking because we are heading on to our next run, which is going to be Castlevania II Simon's Quest with Seth Drush. Take it away.
Hey, thank you very much, Oscar, and welcome everybody from Hotfix. Welcome to Express Lane. Thank you for having me. And with me, we have Ty 2358 and OG Happy Dude on comms, who are going to go through a run with me. We're doing Castlevania 2 100%, and this run's a little dicey at times, but we're going to get through it. It's going to be fun. And
you don't need to worry about it. It'll go completely as planned.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, Happy Dude, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I am OG Happy Dude, the connoisseur of the retro variety speedrunning stuff, and
Fighting game connoisseur.
Yeah, try to get out of that. So, Simon's Quest is actually next on the docket for Blitz, but yeah, I'm here to essentially provide moral support.
And I suppose I am Ty2358, another runner of CV2 that'll be gladly taking you along with this ride at Seth Drush's leisure.
Yeah, and so we're going to go ahead and get this started. Before we start, the main thing that we have to do is, in the very beginning, we have to get 13 heart drops in order to get 100 hearts total to afford the white crystal and the holy water before nightfall. If we don't get that, then we're kind of stuck, and that kind of puts us in a weird situation. But we're going to get the 13 drops. So we're going to be doing a little bit of counting, everybody. So get your count, your best count impressions. So
Let you to make sure to count so we don't throw you off.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
But indeed, the hearts matter quite a bit. We are going to see some nice glitches with an immediate floor drop. We'll talk about those a little more later. But yeah, we really want to actually be focused for this lizard grind that we're going to do for hearts. So I'm not actually going to talk too much because this can be quite important.
Ooh. That's wow. You know what? We're gonna have to deal with it. All right. You know what? No, we're just gonna reset that really quick.
I was going to say, we'll just want to start that over.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
That was bad.
I'll always first try, right?
Yeah, always first.
Totally.
It is a little dicey, but that's why it's like, one, you need the hearts, and it needs to cooperate too.
Yeah, when you get a bad pattern right away from the lizards, if you get hit the wrong way, then you're just kind of stuck. All right, come on. 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, now we get extra. So
Yeah. We get to farm a little extra here, but we got the 13 we need, which is very crucial to at least part 1.
Like the game was like, we feel bad about that first attempt, so here's all the hearts.
We'll go ahead
so
and
the thing with the hearts is it's going to be our main source of currency, but it's also going to be the ammo we have for our sub-weapons that we're going to gather. This is the 100% run, so we're actually going to gather pretty much every weapon in the game. We aren't going to use every single one, but there's a lot to go through.
Yeah.
These are mainstream items.
One of the things, too, is even though this is 100%, the main requirement is we have to get the flame whip. So we have to end the game with the flame whip, but we don't actually have to get all of the whips. So we're going to skip the chain whip, which is a change in this route. That kind of saves a lot of time. But we're going to use dagger.
And dagger does just as much as, like, as far as the damage goes, it does plenty. That will go through it plenty fast. We'll get there when we get there, because the beginning of the game, we start grinding on those lizards, but we're not done grinding quite yet either.
Not at all done grinding yet.
Basically, until now, to the next town, every heart that we collect is very precious. It's kind of like a penny on the ground. We're going to get hundreds and almost pretty much thousands of them.
Yeah, and it doesn't really... Oh, yeah, sometimes you want them, and sometimes they're a little out of reach, and you just have to keep going. But you don't actually lose much time if like stopping to collect these hearts, because we're basically dictated by the day and night cycle now, because we can't go into shops, and we have to get the dagger here regardless. So we're going to be waiting here in town until nighttime. So we take a little time to pick up hearts on the way. It's not really going to affect much.
Exactly. Thankfully, we seem to be pretty good on hearts here. But now we get into a zombie grind, which is mainly the second grind that hopefully will be the only other grind we're going to be doing. Ideally, we get out of this grind with enough hearts pretty much for the rest of the run.
How's this?
And this is a little bit more counting as well, where after we get a level up, we need like 16 drops after our level up in order to have enough hearts for everything that we need coming up. But we do want more than that, but at least the 16.
Yep.
Now, is this grind a little more, or as, what's a good way of putting it, as sketchy as the previous grind, or is this one a little bit kind of safer and more consistent?
It's pretty sketchy as well.
Fair.
It can be. I would say it's definitely easier than the first grind.
It is easier than the first grind, but especially because recovery is a lot better if you do accidentally get hit or something, but it can really throw you off a little bit if you are already in a situation where the game's not dropping hearts, because it just takes away from the amount of time that you can farm.
Any case of enemies coming from both sides, one knockback pretty much just turns you into a pinball machine, so that's always the biggest threat, but it's plenty good to definitely avoid that from happening, and this grind going plenty smoothly.
Yeah, we're going to take off in about 5 seconds. And we're going to go ahead and head over to the dagger.
Our dagger. So that we can do all the damage that we need to do.
Yeah, this is basically going to be our primary weapon up until we buy the Morning Star, which is what we need to upgrade to the Flame Whip.
It'll be a bit of a spendier one.
Just a bit. 200 hearts.
So outside of the bosses, not bosses, but the stores being closed and the enemies being a little bit harder, is there any other changes that day and night cycle give you?
You just, the hearts that are dropped become double the currency also. So for most enemies, there's some enemies that it doesn't, but most enemies it'll give you a better reward for the hearts. But yeah, other than that, they just do they have double the health and mean.
right? Double the tankiness is never a good time, but they still die. Usually if it's 1 hit, 2 hits, it's not much of a time difference when it comes to that. But you can notice some enemies that will kill. You'll kind of see the different sizes of a heart. You'll see a very tiny heart, a regular size half a heart, and then a really big completed heart. And yes, those can definitely change as night and day cycle transition. Nice floor drop again to get our Sacred Flame, which we unfortunately don't use, but that is what that text box was saying.
Yeah, and that floor drop, I took those damage boosts through the eyes to set up my subpixel. Oh, that was cool. That could have been really bad if I didn't switch from Holy Water.
Good.
But yeah, you take the damage boost to set up your subpixel, which allows for a much easier floor drop. Before, we would sit there and just try over and over and over again, and it would be, just hit or miss if it would work before we found out a good setup for it.
Like, oh, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. It was weird.
Yeah.
And someone eventually had to look into it. It's like, oh, this is not a pixel value, but a subpixel value. Someone eventually had the tools to look into that, and then eventually there's a few subpixel values that allow you to do these floor drops that are really cool to see. We'll see plenty more as the run goes on for sure. Holy Water with a nice feature of being able to break blocks. There are some hidden areas like that you can pretty much talk to the townspeople, the townsfolk, to kind of get information out of them. At the same time, there's also some of them in town that actually just lie to you straight up right, which is kind of silly, kind of annoying, but there's just some not so nice people in town.
Yeah, they don't like Simon. They're very untrustworthy of him. So,
How dare you take care of all the bad guys that we're dealing with? How dare?
Yeah, well, it's great too because it's literally in the manual. The manual says that the villagers distrust you and they'll lie to you. So, most people didn't even know that because they, either rented it or got it secondhand without a manual. So that made it really more confusing for anybody who, came into this game blind.
Especially with some bad translations that kind of happened as well. That kind of made some things worded pretty poorly. I think if anyone has ever gotten familiar with being stuck in this game, they kind of know what I'm talking about.
So I know it was mentioned in chat, and like I love how many iconic things come from Simon's Quest, like Bloody Tears, first and foremost, the OG right here. What a horrible night to have it first. It's like it's one of those things where you don't realize just how really iconic this game is. This specific iteration of Castlevania is. So sorry. Carry on.
Yeah.
This fangirling, don't mind me.
Quite the big reputation, whether it's good or bad. Some people give it a good light, some people look at it in a pretty bad light. Regardless, it's still very iconic.
Yeah, I really, one of the things that I heard one of the developers mention that they were inspired by another game that Konami made to make this. So I had to play that, and it's called The Maze of Gallius. Maju Densetsu 2, Maze of Gallius, and it's for the MSX, and they also made a Famicom version, and it's so good. It's really cool, and you get to see kind of where they took inspiration for Castlevania 3 also, with the different characters also with that game, and the open world exploration. Oh, I think I missed it.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm pretty sure I did. Okay. Yep. It's alright.
Pixel perfect shenanigans are hard to do. Thankfully, it isn't needed. We get to see a nice little warp. We ain't falling in water. Nice double. That's epic. Get to put Simon right in the walls. You might be looking at me like, what the heck just happened? I couldn't even really tell you. It's just a matter of the game just warping you from Simon being so off on the screen, and actually puts him in a part of Laruba that technically doesn't even exist in the actual game.
Yeah, there's no enemies, there's nothing, and it's palette swap too. So it has the same palette as here. So we're gonna do this.
6 hearts.
Yeah, we have just enough for double oak, but I don't have the XP to tank that hit from the spike, so I kind of got to do a safe strat there.
Agree. HP can be pretty valuable.
Yeah.
We do another warp here as well.
Yeah, we basically do it the same way, but it takes us through an actual transition because that's an actual coded transition in the game. But the other one, it's just like a fake one. The game doesn't know what to do, and it just sends you elsewhere.
Yeah, I would love to know the logic on where it wants to warp you in those situations because I have no clue. I don't know if anybody does.
The funny thing is there's no other game, no other spot in a game that does that. You know,
Right.
like I've even tried other transitions, like in, you know, I've hacked the ROM to get into different areas of like bodily and other spots, and none of those transitions work the same
Dash
way
jump.
at all. Yeah, and those are long jumps. Yeah, those are.
Right, you gotta throw out the dash jump. Simon kind of just goes flying off of moving platforms. Another frame perfect trick, which this game is filled to the brim with frame perfect tricks, even when you least expect it. Like everything that's pretty much happening on every screen is pretty much a frame perfect trick, and eventually over time you just do it naturally and don't think anything of it, but the entire run itself is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Somebody did ask in chat, like, what those wall or those floor drops actually work. So you mentioned like something about the subpixels and whatnot.
Yeah, there's two, basically two values that kind of dictate your it's your like Y position, but one of them, the way that it works, it's in a value of 0, 8, 16, and then there's a couple other ones that are in the higher numbers, but they only kind of work when the camera's a certain way. But if you're on that subpixel value with that other like Y attribute, like coordinate value that it's storing, you're able to do a floor drop from a 2-block height. So I remember doing it on accident when I was a kid and not knowing how I did it or what happened, and I think I actually soft locked myself inside of one of the vendor rooms as a kid and had to like restart. And but it wasn't until where did he go?
Blobs are random.
What?
That's a random one.
Wow.
His people need him. It's like, Jimmy's trapped in a wall.
Let's go.
Well, going back to those warps, like you said that you weren't 100% certain on, how it happens, but are the the locations that you end up with, are those mainly consistent?
Yeah, they're always
change?
it's always consistent. Yeah, so it's not like gonna randomly place you somewhere. It's always the first screen of Laruba, but with no enemies in it, and it's palette swapped. And but you can't, like, if you go through to the other side, like you're going, it actually just takes you outside of the mansion, and you just restart the whole mansion all over again. So like it's
Wow.
You're just like, oh, so the only way to get back into the mansion without going all the way around is to go through the wall, and you just happen to have a clue book there, so you can actually use holy water to break yourself out. Otherwise, you'd be soft locked in there.
So what's it? What would be the easier trick to learn first, the floor drop or those warps?
Oh, the floor drop's easy.
Floor drop, yeah.
Okay,
Floor drop is a pretty easy trick.
Yeah, it's more of a controller trick than it is. It is frame perfect, but it's like a controller trick. Like you want to do you have to do a whip on the very first frame of your falling animation. So right when you start to fall, you want to do a whip, and then you can floor drop.
And ideally, if you can make Simon move one frame forward after whipping, then that's all you need to be good at.
Yeah,
You just
decent
keep
hearts.
scooching him off the ledge. Yeah, I was gonna say that was, how much was that?
126. So
Okay, nice. Could be all right then.
yeah.
But you did a crackingly good job showcasing both of those, though.
Yeah, most
Yes.
definitely. Especially the double floor drop he did after the first warp is actually really, really tight.
That was
One
cool.
thing to do a floor drop, but he technically went through 2 floors, which kind of makes sense for being called a double in that. Again, even with the initial one being a frame perfect, we have to do another frame perfect input in order to go through a second floor. And even at the end of the game, we're going to attempt, hopefully, to go through 4 floors.
Oh,
Yeah, the elusive quad drop.
Thankfully, because of lag, it isn't. There are some 2-frame windows in there, but that still doesn't really make it any too much easier.
I'll show my age with that pun. You're gonna basically have to get to Devo levels of like whipping it good. Half the chat is now doing a quick
Gonna be
Google
into
search
shape.
of who is Devo.
Yeah.
What is Devo? We'll
I
see.
hope you have more, Oscar, because that's the only pun I got.
We're actually on good time too. It hasn't transitioned to daytime yet. It probably, yeah, it's going to be either like right here on this next screen. Yeah, there it is.
Is it a set time between daytime and nighttime? In game?
Yeah, it's
or-
about 3 minutes for a full cycle. When you first start out, you're at noon, so you only have a minute and a half basically until the first night falls. But after that, it's 3 minutes for each cycle. That's okay.
That'll be alright. Ooh.
There we go.
Okay, good.
I was like, please, heart drop.
Yeah, it's very important because you can kind of see that our HP is just getting mega drained into the swamp, and kind of the idea is we want a full HP bar off of that swamp, because now we're just so healthy that pretty much any bonks and hits that we take here in the Brahms Mansion, which is likely to happen for sure, it's very nice to have HP coming up here.
Yeah, first we're going to get our Morning Star, and then we're gonna get Red Crystal. And we're doing it, even though Red Crystal, we're walking right by it. It's slightly slower to get it on the way first. So we're gonna chance it, and we're gonna get it on the way back. Oh, hey, thank you.
And all these blobs are just wanting to go everywhere, I guess. They're a very random enemy.
They jumped away from Simon. Like, oh wait, no, come back.
All right, oh yeah, we have
they
plenty
want.
of hearts. 22.
Yeah,
Nice.
We grabbed garlic early on, and it's nice. It's kind of strange that it just kind of makes people appear, but it is what we need in order to gather some items for this run. Blobs be nice.
Yeah, I don't.
Blob, please.
Yeah, really. Well, we're gonna see, because the dreaded blob boost is coming up, and we have to do this. It's the worst category to do blob boost in because you have Morning Star whip, and yeah, that usually kills them. So you have to use a sub weapon in order to get the drop. And it's not the drop, but the
Boost.
the clip, yeah, the boost, and not good because you have to throw it, your sub weapon, on the second frame after you start your jump, and if you miss that frame, then you're not going to get the boost. When you have a
How
whip,
much time?
oh, go ahead.
How much time would you lose if you just said, through the blob boost and just do the normal route
Yeah,
for it?
go around
Yeah.
is...
It's about like 5-6
I was
minutes.
gonna say, I thought it was
Wow.
a handful of minutes, which is why generally it's always going to be faster. Obviously, in the general speed run, we want to just get it first try and be like, wow, yeah, blob was super nice. That never usually happens, though.
Yeah.
So we have to go for it just for the speed reason. And even for this run in particular, even if we game over to blob, it doesn't mean the end of the run.
Yeah,
It
we have
just
such a
is
powerful
basically
whip.
a time loss.
Yeah, we have such a powerful whip that it's not going to really affect us. We'll lose time, obviously, but we can at least effectively farm for hearts in the Ruba Mansion if we need to.
Yeah, we can see blobs will be jumping high, they'll jump low, they'll jump wherever and whenever they want, and we have to just randomly hope that they make a perfect jump for us to boost us to an insanely tall height.
Oh, joy.
Yeah, it's not likely.
I saw Blue Crystal, and for some reason, my brain read that as Billy Crystal, and I got really confused. Really.
Well, they have a reference in here too where they say like don't stare into the Death Star, and it's like a Fist of the North Star reference.
Oh my
and
God.
You're like in a freaking Castlevania game. That's so wild.
Honestly, with 87, I can see that.
Oh shoot! I did not want to talk to him again.
Oh no.
Didn't mean to talk. Oh yeah, I gotta jump.
Yep.
If I didn't jump there, then the glitch wouldn't have worked. Where we can not have to take the go and talk to the ferryman, get off the ferry, and talk to him again.
Yeah, I gotta have the right items on in order to progress through the story. Why the crystals are important. Even Dracula's heart that we grabbed in one of the mansions is pretty vital. That's kind of the whole point of this story, and that I suppose is kind of relative to what we're doing here. We're collecting body parts of Dracula because we originally defeated him in one game, but now we need to defeat him again, but he's dead, which is unacceptable. So it's like, well, how do we beat him? Well, we're just gonna grab his pieces and bring him back to life.
As one does.
It's the only way. My favorite weapon in the game.
The diamond.
Yeah, we don't get to use it.
Oh my gosh. I did not press forward then. I call shenanigans.
Yeah, diamond is a nice weapon that just kind of ping-pongs every wall that it bounces off of a handful of times before fizzling out. And
yeah, it
looks pretty, I guess, but yeah, not too effective.
And when I was a kid, I used it because I used it on like enemies when I was on stairs, but it's not really effective for a speedrun at all.
Yeah, the damage isn't great. Yeah, now we get into Brahms Mansion, what I like to call the Mansion of RNG. A lot of spear knights that are very much have a multiple different kind of number of patterns. They can easily poke us off stairs, poke us whenever they want. They'll charge or back up and hopefully just play accordingly. But I'm sure they'll poke us a couple of times, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. We're already at 2 health, so next one's gonna be a death. Just don't be on stairs. Okay.
Blob's always gonna blob.
They're always
Can't do anything about that.
Pop like, oh, I heard stairs. You want me to be there? Okay, I will be there right now.
I'm on my way.
Happily bounces over. The wags its little blob tail.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, how generous is the hitbox on?
With the
Simon?
Morningstar?
Or
Yeah, on Simon.
Base. Oh no, that's not good.
ooh,
All right, no, come on, get up here. Okay. 2, 3. Oh no. Gargoyles. There we go.
And eventually, sometimes the subpixel will get a little skewed.
Yeah, if certain ones are based off of the camera and where that is, so if you misalign it just a little bit, you can't get the subpixel. You can't get the drop even if you have the subpixel.
Nice.
Oh,
what?
Comes away.
What?
oh dang it.
Yes.
All right, that was
Missed
called
a
the
crit,
Stride of
but-
Pride, and we missed the crit, but we'll get it on the way back.
Right, there's a nice little... Every time Simon is falling, he randomly hits a pixel-perfect line of floor as he's dropping. So eventually there's enough time there where he will do a floor drop into this very thin floor and be able to jump out of that to warp basically to the bottom of Brahms from the right side of that. You can jump right into the death room. But
Yeah, without having to take all these stairs down or anything like that.
we just get there.
And with the dagger, you can do a glitch kill on death if he cooperates, but he didn't give us a good pattern on the way in, so.
And that first attempt was pretty close. It was like a pixel off, I think.
Yeah, he kind of juked us.
But we'll get to see the glitch kills, or crits as I like to call them,
Oh,
when we get to Drac as well.
I think
It's kind of weird. It's just... Yeah, it's very laggy here.
Yeah,
I haven't noticed. This game can lag.
You see that blob where he's at? That's why we got the extra lag too. He's going up the screen, following me.
It's like flashing at the top of the screen. It's because he's actually still rendered in here.
Gotta love
Every
rooms that
enemy
go
that's
from.
on-
It's like gotta love rooms that go from frames per second to seconds per frame.
Yeah, right.
Oh, there's going to be a really nice one coming up when we get to Laruba. That's going to get extremely slow.
Okay, can we talk about that wall just was a suggestion that you did?
Yeah, it's just a suggestion.
Indeed.
It's actually built into the game. You can just walk right through there.
Well, that wasn't a trick or anything. It was just
No, that wasn't a trick. Yeah.
Wait,
Right.
we're not talking about the ceiling clip?
Oh, the ceiling clip or the wall where I just walked through and we fell down.
talk about both. I was more like, what? You just walked through a wall. My brain
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
process
Okay,
the
yeah.
ceiling.
Yeah, that one's just an invisible wall that they threw in
Oh
there.
my gosh!
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, there's going to be more of that too.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's another question of why did they do this? It's like they just wanted the developers to only know so that they can sneakily get to the end of the mansion or something? Or
Yeah.
eventually,
Love that.
most players usually try to break a lot of blocks with holy water, and eventually you'll probably throw holy water or something at those blocks and realize that it goes through and nothing happens. You start questioning things.
You're like, oh yeah, what is that? Can I jump through that?
What's going on here? Yeah, I think probably one of the hardest things with this category has to be the menuing, which is how much you're gathering and you're needing to change your menus to pretty much the important items when there's just so many bad things to go through.
Yeah, and it's
Menuing, I can
constantly
imagine.
changing. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Almost. We need to die here, though. We like a full bar of HP. A few.
It immediately gets hit.
Yeah, that's okay though. That's fine. At
Yeah.
least we have level 2.
Yeah. 'Cause
Now, would I be correct in assuming that the level ups that you mentioned earlier was tied to the heart pickups as well?
Yes.
Yes.
But that's also dependent upon what area that you killed the enemies at and you picked up those hearts. So there's different zones that give you different XP, and if you're at a level higher than that zone, you'll get the heart, but you won't get any more XP to get to the next level.
Yeah, if you can't constantly just grind the easiest enemies in the game and get experience until you're the highest level in the game, it tries to make you go to a harder area to get the experience needed.
All right,
Now
now
here's Blob Boost
Okay.
on
Oh
double.
no, I didn't want to talk to you again. I was gonna try. I was gonna say we're not getting 2 of you. Oh, okay, good. That's the. I was like,
You were
I did not
talking
talk
to
to him again.
Wait a second.
All right. All right. You're definitely not gonna deal with.
Run this again.
I was say, let's just despawn him. now.
Will Blob give a high jump?
Oh, come on. that was it. That should've been it. There we go.
Very nice.
Hey.
That's actually...
That's actually
first
really
try.
good.
GG Blob. You did the thing.
44. I still need
Blobby.
hearts.
And there's another oak steak that we need to buy, so need to make sure we have enough hearts for that. But yeah, this is a very laggy mansion, if you haven't been able to already tell.
A little bit.
You can easily eat some inputs.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh,
That's a weird wiggle.
Yeah, it was. It's like he
wow.
got stuck under the.
What?
Like he got stuck in the stairs or something. That's weird.
Went on vibrate mode, I guess. I don't know.
That was very generous because that skeleton was basically standing
Yeah.
through your head.
Oh yeah, and I mean, it
Yep.
could have killed him. So
Yeah, all the hitboxes are just basically a rectangle or
yeah,
a square, so it's not quite like we have the literal tip of Simon's hair or anything. He just basically his body to his knees, just basically one.
yeah. It's mainly his
rectangle there.
chest. It's not even like his head. It's
Yeah.
his chest.
Somebody in chat just said the Blob was on our side. Surreal.
It really is
Yeah.
very rare, because even in your world record run, Seth, I don't think Blob was even all that nice.
No.
Oh.
We didn't get the jump in the right time.
It's okay, we still have one more life.
Yeah, we're fine.
Because we only lose all of our hearts if we game over. So, we still keep everything. More like, hey, now we have a full HP bar.
And it spawns you back at the beginning of the game, essentially.
No,
no,
it just
actually.
spawns you right where you died.
Even on a game over.
Yep.
Yep.
It's very generous.
Oh.
Except for losing your XP and your hearts.
Who's the one that said that this was the worst of the series?
AVGN.
Okay.
And everybody kind of took on to it. And I mean, there were some valid criticisms, but everybody thought, it's entertainment and took it real.
Fight Carmilla for the cross.
Yeah, because we didn't have
Whip her
enough
down.
hearts.
Yeah, usually if you have enough hearts, you can use golden knife that we picked up at death, which does a significant amount of damage. But unlike the holy water, which we were actually using for free, that weapon does actually cost hearts. We're already low on them, so we can't usually spend that for the ammunition. But we don't need it, because we can just whip her down and everything's fine.
Yeah.
While we make our way up to the oak stake. Because yeah, even in your world record run, your blob wasn't like super nice, if I remember correctly.
No, we lost like 30 seconds to Blob.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's still like a good minute like that's on the table on the record run with this route, but it's just Blob has not been kind to us in any of our runs.
This was the best blob ever.
To be honest, right now we're actually on probably the best pace that I've been on in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Nice.
probably.
I'm not kidding. It's wild.
I know.
If we got a first try Blob, or I mean, if it would have been first
Nice.
try, it would have been.
That floor
Would've
drop
been
there is
nice.
actually a lot tighter than it looks, because you're
Oh,
kind of dealing with a kiting skeleton that you're trying to get under. Because you can
We're-
easily get stuck in a situation like this.
Yeah. I didn't realize I was out of hearts.
Yeah,
I was like trying to throw another dagger. I was like, oh,
can't.
I am.
Now we have a lot of laurels that we get to use, which is our invincibility item. Actually going to use it pretty much non-stop on this screen to deal with the swamp damage, and I believe the next screen as well.
Yeah, we have them, so might as well use them, and
Yep.
it saves a lot of lag too. So, like, there's still lag there, but there's a lot more when you're
There's
kinda-
always lag.
Yeah.
Game is on, lag exists.
Is which is one of the kind of the bigger points of the run, is like there are a few different ways of trying to reduce lag, and some people value it a lot and some people don't.
Yeah, there's,
Regardless, it's just going to exist.
yeah, there are like a lot of whip cancels that you can do that will take away a lot of
Flame whip.
yeah.
It's
Basically, it'll take away a lot of the lag frames from when you land, because you lose a frame whenever you land. But if you whip on a certain frame when you jump like that, you actually won't lose any frames, because your whip animation cancels out the landing.
Alright. Let's jump. Parkour.
Yeah, parkour.
I was expecting that.
Nice drops.
Those make our way to get the last body part.
Which is not much of a body part, really.
Yeah.
Like a nail.
Sure, why not?
Important.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Dracula's got some bad habits, so.
Yeah, thankfully we're able to turn the Morningstar into a Flame Whip literally for free! Which is so nice, because now we're just, like, clearing every enemy with ease.
Yeah, the whole rest of this run is just so nice with 100%, because you're like, oh, you just kill everything. But we're not out of the woods yet.
No. We'll see if we can't manage the rest of this HP to get all the way to the end of the game. That would be the ideal goal. Where are these hearts at? There we go.
Yeah, there's one of them. Luckily it's daytime though, so.
Right. Yeah, now we get to make our way well, pretty much to Drax Castle. We will hopefully just put all these parts together and create our own little Drac.
And at nighttime, this screen is like kind of hairy because they're gonna take 2 hits with Flame Whip. So you can kind of go through them, and it looks really cool when you like go under all of those fishmen and juke them out, but it's really slow. So it's kind of nice when you have Flame Whip during the daytime and you can just whip them and not have to deal with any lag on that screen also.
Exactly. Again, another good use of Laurel to get through another swamp section that has plenty of fireballs that can hit you as well. The use of Laurels is very just ideal to make sure that we keep this life all the way to the end of the game. Because since it's not nighttime, we don't get any enemies in towns. All the townsfolk come out, enemies go away, just casual walking.
Yeah, especially
So much
here.
nicer.
You know what I mean? There's no one there except for one lady. She asked you to live with her.
Just sitting there in the bottom of her house. Like, will you live with me? Can do. Yeah, now everything takes 2 hits, but it don't matter. Ignore it and move on. And if you are not able to have all the pieces of Drax's body parts, then those 2 breakable blocks aren't breakable.
Yeah, or the magic cross if you didn't kill Carmilla.
Right.
I've seen a lot of people who thought because they could skip death, they just like walked over and they're like, oh, I can just skip this one. And then they get all the way to Dracula's bridge and they're like, where's Dracula? How do I get to Dracula? I got everything, but they don't, they never got the cross. So they on a wild goose chase trying to figure out what to
What do I
do.
need? We're gonna set up for quad drop, see what happens.
Ooh, only a single. All right, we'll go for backup triple. So there's a backup triple over here that no one ever goes for because it only works if you get it first try, or it only saves you time if you get it first try. One more time.
Got the double, not the triple.
Yeah. Oh, come on. You got the building in the background with the little ooh face. All right, whatever. We're just gonna go. This is ridiculous game.
Worth a shot.
Yeah.
Never going to be able to unsee that face.
What you get for good blouse.
Yeah, exactly. We're not gonna give it to you. Oh yeah, let's switch to our dagger.
Dagger.
So this is a really cool thing. So in the any percent run, you use a holy water kill in order to kill Dracula. But since it's the 100%, we can do the dagger kill, and it's actually much faster than the holy water kill.
We're coming up to the end after one little crit.
Yep, there we go. There, and time.
And
Yeah, well, that was Dracula. We killed him before he even spawned.
Put him in a
GG.
bowl, pop him back up, and he's gone again.
Yep.
Job well done.
Yeah, you're just
Very
getting-
nice.
You're just getting ready for it then. Oh.
Yeah. You're like, wait, what happened? Where'd he go? I just see
Here
flames.
I am reborn, and it's gone.
Okay.
And I'm dead again.
He couldn't even start the monologue. If you're probably wondering what we got here, he was already dead.
Yeah.
Yes, GG to Seth, that absolutely amazing run. Keep them coming in chat. For you and your commentators, where can they find you? What are you currently playing?
For me, right now, I'm currently working on this CV2 100%, but I've also been working on Thimbleweed Park. So if you all like point and click adventure games, I do a lot of those as well, and a whole bunch of other games. So, but yeah, we've been kind of working on de-rusting and improving our Thimbleweed Park casual run, and improving on this when as well. So hopefully we'll get this one soon.
Absolutely. Happy, what are you up to?
So I am super late to the party. Right before I hopped on, I got myself a copy of Elden Ring, and we'll be doing a casual playthrough of that eventually.
Woo!
But like, you can find me everywhere. Just started a Blue Sky account, or being more active on my Blue Sky account. Find me at OG Happy Dude, basically everywhere.
I can also be found at Ty2358 everywhere. I'm mostly just currently doing some Castlevania II glitchless any percent. So I'm not doing floor drops or any of the fun shenanigans. And I will probably be getting into Castlevania 64 as well, probably here sometime soon.
Nice. Thank you all for that absolutely wonderful run. That was so fun to watch. One more round of GG's for Seth, and that amazing.
Job,
that was awesome.
Thank you, everybody, for having me. Thank you, Oscar, for
Thanks for stopping by.
having me. I really appreciate it, and everything. So,
Likewise.
I really appreciate it.
No problem.
You're awesome.
All right, friends. It is time for hydration break number 2, because we have to load up the van, and we're going to get another vampire in here, a vampire hunter in here. But in the meantime, that's a run I've actually started picking up too, because of our next runner, DE Cosmic. So that's going to be super fun. But before we start that, friends, I have a mission for all of you. You need to head over, on a separate tab. Don't leave the channel. But a separate tab, put in gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. That way you can check out our Season 3 schedule and check out the schedule for an in-depth look at the runs coming up this. Hello, and welcome back for some more Express Lane, friends. I hope you had a fantastic hydration break and you checked out the Season 3 schedule. So we have 2 more runs coming up. But, of course, I have one thing to say, as always, and that is UBAF is returning as Games Done Quick's first Black charity event called To Black. And it's going to be live from February 7th through the 9th. Also, run submissions are actually open right now, and that's going to go through November 5th. So head on over to submissions.gamesdonequick.com for more info, and I want to see all of the absolutely amazing runs that all of you are going to submit. But before you do that, we have an awesome game that we are going to be heading on over to. And as I'm kind of alluded to before, one that I have, because of this man, have found myself running now. So this is entirely his fault. It's DE Cosmic and some Van Helsing. So take it away.
Hey, I'm DE Cosmic, and I guess this is my fault. Also, I feel like I watched Van Helsing just play through all of Simon's Quest. I saw Seth wearing that really cool hat, so shout outs to Seth. And also shout outs to Vin, because she's awesome as well. This is Van Helsing. It's a movie tie-in game on the PS2. From the movie where Hugh Jackman fights Dr. Acula. So we're going to get into it in about real quick here. So time will start in about 3, 2, 1. This is normally where I would say Devil May Cry, but we're not playing a Devil May Cry game.
Yeah, this is a weird.
We're playing a Devil May Cry alike.
2.5.
2.5. Yeah, there we go. We're going to start out this run in a cathedral where Van Helsing is chasing down Hyde from, Jekyll and Hyde fame. We're going to use the grappling hook for a little bit of movement there. We're going to be going over here as well. And then we're going to actually just get right into the hide fight in like the next 2 seconds here. So Van Helsing's damage primarily comes through his guns in this game. And we're going to have alt ammo or enhanced ammo, where Van Helsing is going to glow purple like this. And my fire rate's going to increase, damage is going to increase, and hide is going to jump around a lot more than usual. That's never happened before. I got that out of the way early for a reason. So, so now that we're over here in Visaria Village, where the Holy Order has tasked Van Helsing with finding a woman. I forget her name, but we're going to call her Jane for the purposes of this run. So
Kat Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's her.
So I didn't get the skip here, but we're just going to do a small movement right there to immediately grab the wheel. You only have one shot to do the skip there because it's actually dependent on the cutscene that you get. You can just skip right over having to grab that wheel there. We're going to go right into the village here. Hilarious Village. We're going to have to watch a small cutscene. Now, I did mention this game is sort of like Devil May Cry. You do have melee combos. Unfortunately, we're not going to see most of them that the game has to offer, but Van Helsing does have these cool blades on his arms, and he's also going to get smoked by these skeletons for a second there, and I'm going to lose like half my health, but it's fine. But he has this good, really strong 3-hit combo that we're going to use to take out these guys. And then once this fight is over, we're actually going to pick up that small purple orb over there, which is called a life replenisher. They didn't really name, they didn't get too creative with the names on the items in this game, but they're at least easier to understand. We're also going to use the grappling hook here for a little bit more movement tech, where we're going to grab onto thin air and then just do a small jump there to get to the middle of the area and head off to here. We're going to be fighting a guy in some very tattered robes here in a minute, but we have to actually get through a wall that is blocking our path. It's a giant wooden door. I suppose the blades on our arms were not good enough for this, so Van Helsing decided he would need a shotgun to do it. We're going to grab onto thin air again with the grappling hook, and then just use the jump there to get to the middle again, and then we're going to use the grappling hook to get back up here and grab the shotgun. Now the shotgun going to load right there. It always plays this sound. I don't know why, but we're going to go over here, hit the doorway, and then head into the first boss fight. Again, boss fight against 4 question marks is his name. And he's going to be basically operating like most of the bosses in this game, where you either deal with their attacks by rolling or jumping right there. Thank you. Right on cue, buddy. And we basically just have to kite him around with Van Helsing's pistols here. Just build up the bar for the alt ammo, which is right there on the right side of the screen. It's the blue bar right next to the gun icon. And then he should be getting ready to do another stomp here soon, but he's going to try and go for grabs, it looks like. Come on. Okay, there he goes. All right, excellent. So he's also almost down. Go ahead.
I wanted to point out something in the chat. Like I said, I've just started kind of picking this up, and watch the movement that Cosmic pulls off. I can speak from experience. That is not easy. The movement in this game is bonkers, and he makes it look so much easier than it actually is.
Yeah, right there you just saw it kind of where
it's like drunken tank controls.
That's
what it feels like.
It's so weird. Especially because Van Helsing will like auto switch targets, so the way that you have to roll for better movement in this game depends on the enemy that you're targeting, and when he's auto switching your target, you have to automatically adjust for the direction that he's going to be facing and accommodate for him, targeting a different enemy. Now that these guys are down, we're going to preemptively hit that door so that we can actually just roll out of it like frame 1 once the next wave of enemies spawn. We're not going to use any enhanced ammo here, simply because we want to save it for the boss that's coming up. So we're going to hit the door here and then just roll back. Okay, we're just not going to do that because he just wanted to roll off to the side, but it's cool. Thanks, Hugh. I appreciate it. So I'm going to go over here. Okay, game. Thank you. Also worth noting that back rolling is just the absolute fastest version of movement in the game, but you cannot always account for that really, or even get it, just due to what enemies are going to be in the room. So now the women here, they're the three brides of Dracula. There's Verona, Lyra, and Rishka, I believe are their names, but we'll see her name in a moment. The attacks that the lady in the middle here does are actually random, so she can cause a lot of disruption during that first phase. Yeah, Marishka, there she is. So we're going to just kind of kite her again. We want to make sure that we don't get grabbed like that. I want to make sure that I also just stay out of the corner here. We want her to do a lot of ranged attacks because they're very easily rolled through, but if she just keeps doing these melee attacks, I really have to kind of stop my DPS more than I would like. And the idea here is that I just kind of want to just keep hitting her with the handguns. All right, so she's down. Excellent. Now we have to go and I think this is the point in the game where we actually find the woman that we were looking for, and then she tells us about her brother that was made into a werewolf or something like that. And now we're actually tasked with, by the Cardinal, I believe. This is at least in the movie. I think it's in the game too. We're tasked by the Cardinal with finding Igor, or Igor if you watched Young Frankenstein. And he apparently has been torturing members of this woman's family. So we're going to do something about that. Not once and for all, because we got to fight him twice, but we're going to do something half and for all at this point in the game. Now we got to pick up the crossbow here and immediately hit this statue. Excellent, we got out of there. Nice. Otherwise, those owls can just accost you entirely and make you lose lots of health or make you die. So getting out of there, nothing doing, was pretty nice.
This game really embodies the birds are jerks meme.
It's true. Every flying enemy in this game, really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy right here, he actually can, if we didn't get right underneath him there pretty much immediately, he can just kind of block you from rolling out of the way. But we got that fine, so we were good. And then, nice. I should note too, the grapple in this game is actually like really cool. There's some neat combat that's in this game. Unfortunately, we're not going to see most of it just because we're going so fast. But like you can actually use the grapple to like bring enemies to you as part of combos and stuff. It's pretty neat. We're going to walk across here. I'm not going to roll across here because that's just asking for disaster.
Easy you made that look. I so hate how easy you made that look. Yeah, that is not easy.
It's very precarious.
Time.
It's very precarious, I have to say.
I've gone to the top of the statue, and he was just like, you know what? I liked it better at floor down.
Yep, that's Van Helsing special.
I'm like, okay. And I have to do this again later, thanks.
Yup. So after we hit Igor with a bunch of... Excuse me, I had to concentrate for a second there, because he loves to attack just multiple times in a row. After we hit him a bunch of melee attacks, we actually picked up a speed boost that's over there in the corner. We're going to use that later. The way, like, there's not many items you actually get in this route. There's a bunch of items that you can buy and stuff, but we're not going to get enough money for them until, like, the last level. Oh my goodness, die already. But we're going to use it later. It's going to get some pretty good use out of it too. So just in case, we actually picked up a life increaser earlier. I usually pick that up because it gives you a chance to have another item spawn on this level. And it can either be a life replenisher, a speed boost, or an ammo replenisher. The ammo replenisher, as you probably have guessed, just refills the bar on your... oh, yeah, look, it is an ammo replenisher. Also, we're going to... Here's the lady's brother that got hit by the lycanthropy. That was a tongue twister and a half. So now that we've taken him out, we're going to go here. But I just grabbed that backup ammo replenisher there, which actually means that we're going to have some extra enhanced ammo for later in the game, which is going to be nice, actually. But ideally, you want the speed boost spawn, but ammo replenisher is totally fine. So we're going to go through here. And we're going to get into the boss. I don't know what this invisible wall is, honestly. I don't know what Van Helsing was getting hung up on, but I'll roll with it. literally, because he's rolled
Literally.
across the entire screen. So now Velkin here, he actually has a few like big melee combos that he does. He also likes to do a charge. So we also have, this is also a matter of just kiting him out. Right now, there's not much else we can use besides the pistols, because you actually have to buy enhanced ammunition, or not, I'm sorry, not buy it. You have to find enhanced ammunition upgrades for every gun. So we don't have it for the shotgun right now. Otherwise, we would be definitely using it for the shotgun, which we're going to do later. Going to grab this thing as well. We're going to jump past these dudes because they're scary, and we're just going to back roll on out of here. At this point, we got to go to another manor on another side of the village, because there's some cool stuff over there. I actually forget the plot reason. I definitely read a synopsis today about what he was doing in this manor, and then I totally forgot. But it's fine.
Saying hi to... This is the one that has Frankenstein's cave underneath it, or is it?
Yeah, I believe it's the... Yeah, this is the cave that it's under.
Oh, it's to play with these, like,
yeah,
these
the
enemies
Ewoks.
that...
Yeah.
I can't unsee that.
The Ewoks, yeah.
Oh, God.
It's unfortunate, but, I mean, it is what it is. They can be a real pain as well. Because
the armored ones? Like the second tier ones? Oh.
Yeah. They're fearsome, dude. They don't play around. So now we're going to grab these guys. I usually will hug the door here, but I actually am going to play this a little safe and just make sure that I have enough money on the last level here. Because the green crosses are actually currency that you can use to buy upgrades. We're going to grab the crossbow here and just shoot this statue. We're going to actually switch over to the shotgun now, because now we're going to get enhanced ammo for the shotgun. And we're going to just cross over here too. Fun fact, you can actually get up to this door before activating anything over in that other room, but because you actually need the enhanced ammo from, or you actually need to attack that thing with the crossbow in order to, you know, open the door and get the enhanced ammo for the shotgun, you can't skip any of this. You can skip it in New Game Plus by just, because you'll already have the enhanced ammo, but New Game, unfortunately not. So now we're going to shoot down this wall. This is where the game loves to take control away from me. I'm moving my controller, but Van Helsing does nothing. So we're just going to move back through here once the game decides I can do that again.
I'm glad to know that wasn't just a me thing.
No, there's points in this game that just love to just take control away from you in random directions. There, it's pretty much every direction, but sometimes it'll be just like your left and right, or your back and forth. Also, they zoom out here so we can't actually see him go down the elevator. Sometimes it'll zoom in time. The camera there is very strange. And now this is actually the point where you find out that Dracula is trying to, you know, make immortal offspring, and he's using the work of Dr. Frankenstein to do that. So this is kind of like the area where he's experimenting with all that. We're going to use the grappling hook here to get to the door. And then we're going to use the grappling hook to get up here again. So this is where we're going to actually use that speed boost that I talked about earlier, because all these guys are swarming us, and no thanks, Chief. So we're just going to turn on enhanced ammo for the shotgun and then just go to town. Because now we have a speed boost for it, as well as the increased fire rate from having the enhanced ammo. So yeah, they're shook, and now we get to go and get the electric gun. And also, for some reason, whenever you have a speed boost active, you just glitch through that platform when you go to grab the electric gun, so you can just fall through it and then just keep going. It's pretty awesome. I always walk the wrong direction here. So here we go. We're going to get back out here. Now, the electric gun is mostly used for objectives. We're going to use it for a couple of enemies in this game, but we're going to use it to activate the lift here to go and fight Dracula. Dracula is a bit of a tough fight. This is just the first one. This is also the point where he tells Van Helsing about some of his forgotten past and refers to him as like Gabriel. And so after that whole monologue, we just have to fight him. And this is another sort of boss fight where you walk to the left or right, and then when he sort of sparkles like this, you just jump. And I thought that you had to dodge roll that for the longest time. And I was like, what the heck is the hitbox on this thing? But it turns out that you just jump and it just totally misses you.
I'm 100% still in the, I just thought you had to dodge roll away.
It's quite unfortunate, let me tell you.
Doesn't make sense.
So this is... No, it doesn't at all. Visually, you would think that you should be able to dodge it.
Right.
These enemies are one of the few that we're actually going to use the electric gun on. We're going to do some roll canceling here. If you've played the first Devil May Cry, you can use this for the grenade gun as well. This is something that we do in that speed run in order to, indirectly increase the fire rate on both weapons. So otherwise, this would just have massive recovery. So, excuse me, game. Thank you. We're going to use this, and then we don't need to actually use that other platform over there. We can just double jump off the wall.
Okay.
And then, what's up?
I've got a question for you.
Go for it.
What? So, those that have played this game, at the end of each mission, chapter, what have you, there's a specific notification on whether or not Hugh Jackman has lost his hat.
That's correct, yeah.
Why? Like, do you get like some kind of damage boost or something with the hat?
I am going to be so for real, I don't know. I am not sure at all what the purpose of the hat being lost or staying on him is. I do know that on the speedrun leaderboard, there is a category where you have to wear a hat, and every time Van Helsing loses his hat, you have to pause your game and take off your own hat, and then unpause it, and then try and get your hat back on.
Don't tell me categories I know I need to run now.
I mean, if you do run it, hats off to you.
Literally.
Literally. All right, so we're going to activate the enhanced... Okay, we're going to actually not do anything right now until we replenish our life. And then we're going to go into this boss fight against the man in the tattered robes, who is now known as the Frankenstein's monster. And we're going to use the crossbow on him. Crossbow does pretty similar to damage to Frankenstein as the pistols do. Plus the explosive... This guy runs so much faster in this fight. Also, we don't have as much room to kite him as before. Good grief, buddy. I don't remember. I have never seen him do that lariat move before, or I just haven't been paying attention. All right, he's down now. So now we're going to return to Castle Frankenstein because we're going to try and stop Dracula from making his immortal offspring. But first we're going to get accosted by these bats. But we're also going to use the crossbow on them. And how this section goes depends on how often these bats attack you. Fortunately, we actually only have to take out one wave of them. There's 2 waves of the bats here. The last one here, yep, so he's dead now, and we can actually just go to the next area. I thought for a while when I started running this game that you had to kill both waves of bats. That is not the case. So we're just going to go over here. All right, so now we're going to go into the cave here. And we've been using like the arm blades for a while that Van Helsing comes equipped with. Now we're going to get these super cool, if I can move correctly, we're going to get these super cool blades that deal a lot of damage and have some really good range. So, okay, good. Nice, that worked out. And then we're going to grab this life replenisher here. I usually don't grab some of these backup items, but just for the purposes of the marathon, I'm just going to grab them because some enemies in this game can just do a lot of damage out of nowhere, and it's like, oh, that was unfortunate. So these swords...
Chat. I'm sorry.
What's up?
Hold on.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Someone in chat said this game needs a remaster. My friend.
I mean, I don't think you can change perfection, honestly.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Are we insinuating that Hugh Jackman's face needs to be remastered?
It would give the Final Fantasy VIII treatment, so only his face.
Only his face gets it.
No, his face and the hat. Everything else remains exactly like this.
The 2 most important parts of the game in the movie. I completely understand. I'm picking up what you're putting down. So now we're going to grab this ammo replenisher over here. We're going to also get attacked by this guy, which I did not plan for. All right, so now we're going to grab that ammunition replenisher. We're going to switch to the shotgun, and we're going to get messed up by geometry. Now, we're going to fight Velkin again here. We're going to use the shotgun because it does a lot of damage to him, and we're also going to replenish our life because he does a lot of damage. And then we're going to, once the alternate ammo that we've used has been depleted, we're just going to refill and then just keep dodging his melee. He's going to get on the wall, but it's fine. He is not going to go anywhere. So now we're going to switch over to the crossbow because there is another life replenisher that I want to pick up that's sort of a backup as well. Plus, like the Dracula boss fight, or the second Dracula boss fight in general, there's a lot of damage that kind of comes out of nowhere. So sometimes this is a backup, sometimes this is necessary, depending on how I'm feeling for the run. I'm going to also get attacked by these guys. And then randomly, the elevator will activate, and we're just going to go up because the elevator decided it's time to go. So now we're going to switch back to the pistols here. I don't know why this life increaser is here. We're going to start out here, walking around. Again, this is going to be more of the same. There is more of a chance, unfortunately, for Van Helsing's jump to mess up, sort of. You can hit the jump button sometimes in this game while you have the pistols equipped, and Van Helsing will just do like a small micro hop, and it will just not give you your jump, and you won't end up, you won't end up getting the jump that you wanted. We're going to throw these at this guy, and now he's dead. So we're going to go into Castle Frankenstein here. This is mostly just going to be an escape sequence. Excuse me. Thank you. Because now, we've blown up the lab and everything like that. He's not going to get his immortal children. So we're just going to leave. It's crushing under the chaos that we've wrought. We're also going to stop and get the enhanced ammo for the electric gun here, which is only going to be used once in the entire run, but it's for something very important. So we're going to keep going now. All right. Excellent. Once we exit this area, we're going to use the swords on the second set of enemies it's pretty much ever used on. I'm kind of sad that we don't use the swords much in this run because they're really cool. And you can also just, roll cancel them as well for their combo. There's, again, a bunch of like melee stuff you can do in this game that is just not needed for the speedrun, and it makes me sad, but it's cool. So these stone statues, apparently, steel can cut through stone like this, or magic stone. They're going to go down. We're just going to keep roll canceling. I kind of wanted to make sure that I could get them closer to the gate, but unfortunately was not meant to be. Is one of you still alive? I thought you were both dead.
Hey.
Okay, there it goes. That was weird. It didn't activate the cutscene, so I was a little spooked there. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so now the woman that we've been looking for, we're on our way back to the castle of Dracula, and we're getting chased by two of Dracula's brides now, Verona and Alira. So how this section goes actually depends entirely on the RNG that you get for when you're on top of the carriage here. So I'm going to just hop back up on top here and just hope that we keep getting... See, there's the micro hop. I tried to jump that electric shot, and, they said no. Or the game said no. All right, so now she's going to be down. Go ahead.
Yeah, while we were working on Verona, there was a question because someone was checking out the leaderboards and noticed that the Xbox version was less popular. Is there like a huge difference between it? Is it just rarer on the Xbox or lower?
That I'm actually not sure on as far as that is concerned. I've only ever played the PS2 version, and I think that's just the version that most people probably played when they were younger. I know that there's some extra stuff on the Xbox version. I think it has maybe something extra in terms of like some cheats or something. I don't actually remember. I looked some stuff up a while ago, but From what I could tell from a gameplay perspective, they were pretty much identical.
I gotcha.
All
As
right.
long as the hat maintains importance, we're fine.
Oh yeah, the hat's still important for sure. So now that Velkin is down, because he just got hit with the shotgun as well, now we're going to head into a second fight against Igor. He tells us where Igor is, and as it turns out, is in the exact spot that we fought Igor before. So I suppose thanks for the info, Velkin. We could have just revisited him anyway. They'll never guess that I was there in the exact same spot that they fought me before. So we're going to try and get... oh my goodness gracious. All right. Hold up. Excuse me. That was rude. Oh, okay. Thank you. Nope, never mind.
Yeah, do you see what I mean about this statue?
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but we made it out. Semi-safe. We lost a little more health than I was kind of hoping for, and now these owls could definitely just take our lunch money, but... okay, there it goes. All right, there we go. Awesome. So now, this is also why I take some of these health replenishers that I was talking about, because there are just sections where you're trying to get past some of these enemies, and they really just aren't about it, like, at all. They're just like, no, dude. Like, what are you doing? You get back here right now. We weren't finished. Igor is pretty much going to be the same at this point. Once he gets to half health, also he has a rocket jump now, like he's the Team Fortress 2 soldier, but that doesn't really affect much of what we're gonna do. Once he reaches half health here, he gets this giant electric thing that he puts on the ground, like a turnstile.
Oh, the disco ball.
Yeah, the disco ball also works. Oh, okay. Anyway, that was unfortunate. I did not expect him to jump down right there. All right. That's the last life replenisher there. Cool. Excuse me. Thank you much. And we can actually dodge right through these electric barriers, but that's just a loss in DPS, so I try to walk with it generally. All right, cool. And a Lyra here. This is actually the only spot in the game where like a semi-soft lock can happen, but I actually have a backup save prepared in the event that it takes a little long, so not really worried about it. It's due to a really finicky hitbox on a generator that we're going to use with the electric gun. So we're just going to equip that now. We're going to go into one of two fights leading up to the boiler room. So the first part, we have to fight these three ghosts with the electric gun. We're just going to roll cancel the shots here. Again, it's going to take about 3 shots, same as the skulls that we fought earlier. Nice. Okay. All right, awesome. And then we're going to hop down here, and we're going to fight the Ewoks once again. They're going to go down quite handily. There's the armored one, too, that Asuka was talking about earlier. The guys with lots and lots of health. Okay. Again, we're just going to roll cancel here. Fortunately, these guys do drop a plentiful amount of, like, you know, health orbs, so we're not really stressed too much about staying alive here. Unless we got, like, comboed by them, but fortunately that didn't happen this time. All right, awesome. So now we're going to kind of just hope that the generator cooperates. So we got to stand here at first. All right, so here we go. First couple are fine. Good. All right. Oh, nice. Excellent. Very cool. It
Nice.
worked. Now we're good.
Behaved.
Yeah, it behaved this time. Thank you so much, generator. Everybody give a round of applause for the generator for not
Jeez.
for not being mean to me. Yeah.
Oh God, as soon as Van Helsing turns around to target something else, I'm like, oh, well then, it's gonna take a while.
Yep.
We're here now. Time to go kill some things.
There's points of that hitbox where it will register that the electric gun hit it, but then will not activate the trigger as well. So
rude.
Yeah, it's super rude. Since we're out of there though now, we're going to just kind of roll past all these guys, and we're going to get the last gun of the game, which is the machine gun or the minigun. And this thing is super powerful. I would say especially against living things, but these are all undead mostly. So that doesn't apply here. We're going to take this elevator up. You can actually soft lock yourself, by the way, here. If you don't take the machine gun and you activate the elevator, you will not be able to get through that door with anything except the machine gun. I only know because I tried it because I was curious. Don't be like me and don't be curious like that. All right, so now that we've had our hat knocked off, we're going to go through this dungeon area that's sort of like frozen and everything. And we're going to use the grapple to get up to a bridge leading to, we're not going to grab onto that Van Helsing. Come on, Hugh, work with me here. So now we're going to go ahead and do this. Oh, excuse me. Thank you. Excellent. Just going to do a bunch of grapples here. There's going to be a bunch of stone statues on this bridge that we're going to have to do some pretty precise rolls to get through their ranks. Right here. Oh, excuse me. All right. And since we don't actually have any enhanced ammunition yet for the minigun, we're going to activate a speed boost here. And then we're just going to... We're not going to do that. That's what we're going to do, Alira. We're not going to do that. We're just going to kind of walk it out, because since you have the speed boost here, you can actually walk out of pretty much every attack that Alira has for you. Trying to do this at normal walking speed with the machine gun is just not possible. You have to roll. But now we're going into the last level. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and use this thing right here. We're going to use the machine gun to take out this last little bit of enemies. These are the last normal enemies that we will fight in the game. And then we're going to use the enhanced electric gun to grab the enhanced ammo for the machine gun. That is the one time we use the electric gun for the enhanced ammo in the entire game. So now this whole thing's happening here. We're just going to leave this area because enemies just spawn here infinitely. And we're going to head down to fight Dracula in his lair.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. He's got a pretty big lair too. I'm kind of jealous. No rent either.
Too many kids though. Too many kids on the roof.
I mean, he might, because he was trying to grow them all in a lab. All right, so now it's going to take a very long load. All right, excellent. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to use the enhanced ammo here of the machine gun. We're going to go ahead and replenish ammo again. All right, excellent. Okay. And time.
GG's.
GG's.
Oh,
I actually remembered to not skip the cutscene here. So we have this whole showdown here with Dracula and Van Helsing. I forgot how much this game kind of ramps up. I talked so much. My goodness. Thank you so much, GDQ and Asuka, for having me on for this vampire night. This game is really cool. The speedrun is pretty, I want to say pretty easy to learn. It's very intuitive is what I will say.
It's an easy to learn, difficult to master, I'm noticing.
Yeah, the game has undeniably a little bit of jank to it, but there is a nice little charm to the movement in this game. The combat sections are really snappy. The strats are cool, and the item routing is also pretty cool. Also, Van Helsing's going to turn into a werewolf here and kill Dracula. Spoilers.
Yeah, why didn't we get this as the final fight? Real talk.
I think technically it's because he also ends up killing the woman that, he was here to rescue. And then he's like, oh no, I feel terrible. And everybody's like, but you're Hugh Jackman. And then he's like, oh right, I am Hugh Jackman. And then wanders off into the night. So
or the sunrise.
Or the sun. Yeah, he wanders off into the sunrise because werewolves can handle that. But yeah, no, this game is really cool. I've run it off and on for a couple of months, and it's really neat. It's a really neat little run, very short as well. Fun fact that I forgot to mention, you can save minutes upon minutes in this game by simply running without a memory card. So I did this whole run without a memory card because the game saves every rune, and you just lose seconds every time the game auto saves. So yeah, that's how you do that. Again, thank you so much, GDQ and Asuka, for having me on for Express Lane tonight. It was an absolute pleasure. Shout outs to Vin and Sath for their runs, and good luck to Jupiter on their run as well after this. You can find me at twitch.tv/DECosmic if you want to see more action games from the PS2 or the Devil May Cry series. That's about it for me, though. Have a wonderful night, everybody.
Yes, everybody give more GGs to Cosmic for that absolutely amazing run. Blame him for learning this run. You won't regret it. And Cosmic's really cool and loves helping everybody. So with that, we have one more run, but we're going to take one more hydration. Actually, no, we'll do a stretch break. All right, friends, we are back with our final run of today's episode of Express Lane. We are hunting all of the vampires. As always, you know what I'm going to say at this point. I have I have two things to say. These are super important because they require you, yes, you, I perceive you right now, to do something for me. You need to join the official GDQ Discord channel. And when you get there, add the Hotfix role where you can keep tabs on all the upcoming events, the schedule. You can talk with staff and fellow showrunners like myself, hello, and a whole bunch more. So to do that, !Discord in Twitch chat for more info, and I better see somebody putting that in there. Also, if you missed out on any of our shows or events, make sure you check out the VODs over on youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. If you are watching this at youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick, hi, come watch us live. Go to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick, and you can interact with us there too. All right, maybe I've done enough. We have our final game, but our final two runs of this fantastic episode of Express Lane. We are heading over to some Castlevania Portrait of Ruin with Jupiter Climb, so take it away.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is indeed Jupiter Climb. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you so much, Asuka, for the invite. So, it's spooky month. It's a really exciting time for Castlevania. This series is getting all kinds of updates and developments, but we'll talk about it. Let me go ahead and get the run started here. It's going to be hopefully about 35 minutes or so we'll have plenty of time to talk. Time is going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is Portrait of Ruin, but probably not the character you were expecting.
This walking animation was the number one reason I saw this walking animation. Like, I need to reach out and get this on my show.
So very nice first try on that clip up there. We skip a whole long chase sequence by getting the teleport up top through the ceiling. Very nice. So yeah, this is Axe Armor. And you know what? There's a lot to talk about with this mode, actually. It's, on the one hand, a complete farce, right? It's a joke. I mean, this guy's got, or I should say this gal, but we'll talk about that later, has got a 2-frame animation on their dash. I think this mode was designed in a single afternoon by Curry the Kid, just to give this game a little bit of extra content. That's on the one hand. On the other hand, I kid you not, it's highly technical. Every time you want to do a dash or a charge, there's a complicated button sequence you got to do. The difficulty is quite high. It's easy to die in this mode. So I think it's an excellent mix of funny and for real.
Do you have to do something like specific to unlock this mode, or is it just automatically available?
Do you really want to know? Well,
Yes.
since you asked, I'll break the bad news. If you want to unlock this character for yourself, it's got one of the silliest unlock requirements in Castlevania history. All you gotta do, pardon me, all you gotta do is find this enemy in-game and defeat it 1,000 times. That's all you gotta do.
What?
And the mode will unlock.
That is okay. Okay, game.
Doesn't that sound like a playground rumor? And yet
That-
it's true in this case.
Oh. That sounds like a time of a time.
All right, so we got our first boss coming up here. I'll get to show off some advanced axe armor combats. The best way to deal damage with this character is to hold up. Okay, I held up. GG. One boss down.
Ooh. I like how there's a couple people in chat going, "Oh yeah, I play MMOs." 1,000 kills, that seems actually pretty reasonable.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, by action platformer standards, it's a completely ridiculous unlock requirement, but if you've got patience for farming, it's not that bad. You know,
Wow.
takes about an hour or so, depending on your setup. But yeah, I guess now is a good time to talk about what I'm playing here. This isn't just Portrait of Ruin, it's Portrait of Ruin on the brand new, oh my god, unlucky, on the brand new Castlevania Dominus Collection. It's multi-platform, just came out like a couple of months back. The first kind of real Castlevania release in a few years. Excellent compilation. And now everyone gets to experience these great games. Oh, I missed a warp. Hang on, I was ranting. Let me go back. Gonna need this for later. Everyone gets to experience these great games for the first time. So, out of curiosity, Asuka, what's your favorite of the trilogy? If you have one.
Oh God. Let me. I can't really talk because I actually haven't played Portrait of Ruin. That's kind of the problem. So
Oh, I see.
would have to go. I would have to go probably. I'm gonna have to say Dawn of Sorrow.
That's my favorite too. Great choice, IMO.
Yeah,
I've,
as soon as the collection came out, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be my chance to actually play all of them.
I've come to the view that I'm not sure what my absolute favorite Castlevania is from this era, but I think overall this era is peak Castlevania. I mean, this is just such a strong trilogy of games. You can't go wrong with any of them. Hey, that was cool.
It's like one of those things where it's like you have your stereotypical zone, you have Castlevania II, Simon's Quest from earlier, but like in a weird way, it almost overshadows this generation. And I've heard nothing but great things about this generation of games.
I think the real problem is that for so long these games were so tough to play since they were locked on the DS, and now things are changing. And I can tell you that not only are more people picking these up casually, we're getting a lot more activity and competition for the speedruns. It's like every day we get some new submissions. So a really exciting time for Castlevania.
I cannot get over that like air jump walk thing you're doing. Fantastic.
Yeah, the dash has got 2 frames of animation, and the flight has got 0 frames of animation.
It's fantastic.
Now, I should mention, it's not obvious, But axe armor is actually a woman. There is some official art in the Dominus collection that confirms this.
Oh.
The plume in the back is reinterpreted as a redhead ponytail, kind of funny. And that's relevant here because there's a certain attack that we're looking for called Temptation. Nice. If I get it, there we go. It would affect Jonathan, but it does not affect axe armor. Saves a little bit of time. So we hold up and we win.
Cool.
Now, for Asuka and those who haven't played Portrait before, we can talk about the structure of this game a little bit. You've noticed we're not exactly staying inside of the castle here.
Right.
There are 8 portraits in total that take us to all of these pretty fantastical locations. So there's 4, then we have kind of a mid-game boss. Then we unlock the second half of the game afterwards. So we're making good time here. I got a little bit lost earlier. A little bit lost in that warp room. We don't have to talk about that. Otherwise, though, very good start.
I'm not gonna lie, I really loved the floor design of that area you just went through. Like, that just looked cool.
Yeah, this game, in fact, the whole trilogy's got some really great art direction and sprite work. Soten gets a lot of the attention, and for good reason. Soten is like the best looking 2D game ever made, but this era's got some good stuff as well, for sure. I love this section here. Oh, there we go. Nice.
So cool.
Good use of sub-weapons to get through there unscathed, hopefully.
Yeah, like this little hallway thing with the bladed devices and that looks so cool.
Now this boss will probably look familiar to anyone who's played an Igavania before. This is Legion, one of the most common and popular recurring bosses in the franchise. Pretty tough with axe armor, actually. This is one of the easiest bosses to die on. You'll see why. Looking for a very specific position here. Oh, I got it! Yeah, very nice.
What? Oh, do tell what just happened there, because that looked wild.
So that is something called a space jump. You can cancel your high jump in the air with a standard jump and chain that infinitely to basically get infinite jumps, which is cool. But if you're even a little bit out of position there, you take a lot of damage. So good stuff.
Nicely done on that.
Okay, so I'm going to open the floodgates. Are you ready? I've got the chat open on my other monitor, and I can't help but notice a distinct lack of axe puns. If we could please change that, I'd really appreciate it. There's no way chat can come up with a good axe pun. No way. Let me see it.
I can get my popcorn ready and watch this just catch on fire. Like, Chad, I definitely want to see you exercise those pun skills.
Portrait Ruin, I think, has got the best soundtrack in Castlevania. There's a good reason for that. It's kind of like the dream team. It's not just Yamane on the soundtrack, it's also Koshiro, who you might know from games like ActRaiser or Streets of Rage 2. Yeah, one of the all-time greats decided to contribute to this particular Castlevania.
Suddenly, the banger soundtrack makes even more sense right there. And sure enough, Chat is definitely exercising their axe guns right now. I'm impressed, Chat. Positioning and jumps are exceedingly great. I love it. You'll be exasperated after like 2 or 3. Oh no, we're never gonna get exasperated.
Unfortunately, I just got bonked. This section was going so good, but a frog got me. There goes 1 second. It's over.
Frog.
Speaking of frogs, next boss fight is going to be someone called Dagon. This one's not too bad unless you get hit by the mine attack, in which case you can just die instantly. So let's go ahead and save again. There it is. Actually, pretty good RNG overall here. Nice. Very good fight. That's one of those fights where you get it in a marathon or an event like this, a showcase, and you wish you got it in an actual record attempt. Oh well. When I get back to that, I'm sure the RNG will get much worse.
Isn't that the truth? I felt that.
Believe it or not, we are already about halfway done with the game. First 4 portraits down. 4 more to go. And all of these are clustered together, so no travel time between them like in the main castle.
So wait, then, does that mean for axe armor mode, the map's different, or is it the same? You just go about it a different way?
Yeah, great question. So the map is the same, but you're right, the locks are a little bit different. So all the cutscenes are removed, and you no longer have to save the sisters. Without getting into like story details, a couple of people were turned into vampires, and you have to save them. Axe armor is not so merciful. She is going for the lethal approach. We're gonna play to win here, and that'll unlock the second half of the game for us.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about holding up for combat. Another advanced tech here, you jump. I won. Definitely a pretty good matchup for Axe Armor.
Yeah, that is a heck of a extreme cross when you're bringing wave dashes into this. So if anyone can do it, I think Axe Armor could. That's the hidden third animation.
Now, if you take a look at the top right of the screen, you'll notice I have been gaining level ups. So even though there aren't really any RPG mechanics besides the experience system, that part is still in. And we are under-leveled for this point in the game. But, you know, speedrun, not too surprising. That does mean, though, that some of these bosses in particular in the second half are going to be dealing some serious damage. Okay, hang on, fly over. Oh, what a goofy character. So yeah, we'll be saving before every boss for the remainder. If I happen to get a deathless run, that's perfect. If not, no big deal. The estimate accounts for a couple issues. This is the wrong way. That's fine. We'll get the next save.
Taking the minor scenic route. Like comment in chat. Until I'm proven wrong, I'm assuming her legal first and last name is Axe Armor. You know what? I'll give you that
never
one.
know, sadly. Although the rumor mill has it that Konami is working on a new Castlevania in-house. If that's true, take it with a grain of salt for now, but if that's true, maybe we'll get a return of Axe Armor mode. Wouldn't that be something?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I'm sure some people know this, but, oh, unlucky. Come on, creature. Oh my god, he hasn't given me the good attack once. There you go. Yeah, with that attack with the machine gun, you can just hold up, and the axe will do damage and delete all of the bullets. Very convenient, but had to wait until the end. But yeah, this is not the first appearance of Axe Armor, playable Axe Armor in the series. It also shows up in Soten, kind of, where there's an optional armor piece you can equip to play as a very nerfed version of this character. In Soten, Axe Armor cannot jump at all. Here she can literally fly, so big upgrade.
There's a question in chat. There was an enemy that was just a whole bunch of red handprints chasing you. They were curious what those handprints were going to do to you if you, like, fought them or let them catch up to you, I guess?
Yeah, I remember the first time I played this game, I was wondering what those were all about as well. It's not an enemy, and I assumed there was maybe some kind of like a gimmick or a puzzle, but no, it's just a flourish. Just there to be a little bit extra spooky.
All right, I'm okay with that.
I will say, and I'm curious how many people agree with this assessment, something I just love about Castlevania. I'm going to save you because I got some tough tricks coming up. In fact, let me do this first. Hang on. This is a little serious time. If I can get both, I'll be very happy. One. Yeah, let's go. So that input is a 3/4 circle forward attack. Very tough to do on command. Anyway, I'm curious how many people agree with this. I love Castlevania because it's not just creepy, it's also very campy. And it's kind of been that way since the first game, which was really inspired by the Hammer horror films. It takes itself seriously when it wants to, but it's not afraid to have a little bit of fun with the premise. Get a little bit goofy. So, you know, a lot of anachronisms, a lot of silly character modes like this. I think it's a really cool balance. Oh, that's bad news. Uh-oh. Let's try this again. Thank you. Okay, next up we have Mummy. Speaking of classic horror films, here's a good one. It's good RNG to start.
Is that pretty much
is
that like a hold the button until the mummy uses those block attacks, then like head back in position, or?
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay.
The mummy's got a lot of different attack patterns, so the fight's always pretty different. Now, what's cool about this area, if you get really unlucky, I've seen it just once or twice before, but if you get really unlucky on those flame wheels, they can actually one-shot you. What'll happen is you'll take damage, you'll get cornered, and you'll start taking damage every frame until you're dead. You know, Castlevania's got a lot of damage stacks, but normally, it's the player that's in control. In this case, the enemies can damage stack you. And it's specifically an axe armor thing. Once again, poor axe armor, pretty frail, but so far so good.
So I believe is that all the portraits, or are you still on like maybe one more?
One more after this one. So this is the second
Gotcha.
Clown World portrait. It's like that other one we saw with Legion, but harder. A lot more enemies that can deal poison damage and so on.
I'll admit, I always have so much respect for Metroidvania speedrunners. Just memorizing the route through the entire map is something that my smooth brain could only handle so much of it before I got so lost.
What you're not seeing is the hundreds and hundreds of hours of getting lost and your chat making fun of you. Happens to everybody. Happens all the time. Part of the process.
True.
I love it. Whenever I'm learning a new Metroidvania to speedrun, it's like, you know that once you learn a game, it's never, you're going to lose that feeling of, you know, getting lost, exploring.
Right.
So that process, you know, journey rather than the destination. I love the process of trying to figure out these complicated worlds. It's one of the reasons this is my favorite genre. I got greedy there, but it worked out. Ooh, good fight. Was that a no-hit? It was close.
It might have been.
So now we've made it to Market Street. Pay no attention to that typo in the background. This is the final portrait in the game. And it's got the jankiest boss of the bunch. We'll see that in a couple of minutes.
You say jank, you have my attention.
You haven't seen bad hitboxes until you've seen Werewolf versus Axe Armor.
That is the tall order, because you don't want to know the garbage. I pretty much live, if I'm not playing an awful game, I'm playing a silly game. Bad hitboxes are affected me.
That's totally fair. It's kind of funny, right? You almost like, it's like a skill dealing with bad hitboxes. Whether it's a good game or a bad game or a silly game or whatever, you almost start to adjust, right?
Yeah. And then you find the one game that has like a solid hitbox and it's so confused. And my favorite are the hitboxes that are suggestions and change depending on what mood they're currently in.
We're definitely going to be seeing a little bit of that here. Depending on the werewolf attack patterns, this can go pretty smooth or I can get super comboed. All right. Gotta keep your distance here. All right, it's fine. Still a really good start. Nice. Okay.
There we go. Very nice.
So now we're in the end game. We've got just a few bosses to go. And this one coming up, I think, is my favorite in the whole game. Brawner. Brawner's got some great voice lines. The attack we don't want to see is when he teleports inside of a portrait. That's the worst RNG you can get. So far, so good. Here, intentional damage boost. Good. Uh-oh, that's poison. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Deathless might be over. Big one damage here.
Fingers crossed, chat.
Yeah, let's go.
Very
Clutch win.
nice.
Lucky number
Well
13
done.
HP. All right, spoilers. Dracula's in the game.
Oh,
But here it's going to be a 2v1. And Death is our real opponent here. They do not share an HP pool. So you got to pick your target. Death's got, I'm tempted to reset. Death's got 4-4-4-4. Dracula's got 6-6-6-6. And of course, Dracula's busy teleporting around everywhere, hard to hit.
absolutely.
All right, I believe in this run. I'm believing less in this run.
It'll be fine.
All I gotta do is get a perfect manip and not get hit. All right, let's go.
Let's send your energy. A wild looking fight.
No! Ahem. I'll tell you what. We'll show off a cool new Dominus collection feature.
Ooh.
No, we're gonna go again. Give it one more try, and this time I'll hopefully have more HP going into phase 2. Rewind is more of a Hail Mary. That's if we're
gotcha.
behind schedule. Gotta just wrap it up. By the way, can I get a time check? Where are we at right now?
Just under, basically about 31:45.
Oh, that's fine. We got plenty of time. This is fine. Yeah, the rest of the run went good enough to where I could afford to do a couple of resets here. I want to try and get a perfect phase 1.
I'm
Yeah,
down.
this is one of the coolest parts of the speed run. A lot of times you don't even have time to go back and heal, so you're coming into the fight with suboptimal HP, and you got to play aggressive to save time. Always very nerve-wracking to get here on good pace. This is a better start in terms of the RNG.
But he does look like he's behaving a little bit better.
Nice. Okay, that was perfect phase one. For phase
Well
two,
done.
just to make sure we don't stay here too late, either I win, or if a skill issue comes up, I will use rewind. But here we go. This time for real.
If anything shows how like underleveled you are, it's definitely these final fights where it's just like, oh, it takes so long.
Yeah, once again, we're definitely very underleveled. Yes! Whew.
Nice.
Okay. That was a close call, but we got it. And Axe Armor wins. What a turn of events. Dracula defeated by one of his own minions.
Jeez.
All right, so time on that. I'm glad we were able to barely beat the estimate, I think. But this next one is even more exciting, I think, in some ways. Thanks again, Oscar.
Yeah,
Let me
we-
show this off here. This is some
No, you-
brand new stuff.
When you approached me with this, I was like, okay, you have my complete attention. So you thought he was quick before. We're just gonna go lightning fast, so please don't blink, because you will miss the run.
Yeah, let's go ahead and beat the game again. Except this time in under 10 minutes. Time is going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's
Now
go.
we're back with the main squad here, Jonathan and Charlotte. What you're going to be seeing is the all-new any percent speedrun route here. This is not more than a couple weeks old. Here we go.
So are you backdashing while swapping the characters?
Exactly right. There's a rhythm to it. Backdash to
Oh,
get the
wow.
speedy frames, and then you change back to cancel the end lag. So that's part 1. Part 2, we're going to zip. And we end up over here. Here, I'm going to buy a castle map so I can unlock slide.
Well done.
I need this warp for later. Now, coming up, I don't want to oversell it, but I think it might be the greatest part of any portrait speedrun. And it is kind of the quintessential moment of portrait speedrunning. Here we go. We're about halfway there.
I'm assuming you're building up something?
Oh, I'm actually sliding out of bounds over and over until I cross to the right side of the castle. This way there are no obstacles in my way.
Ooh.
Okay, so we do this, we suspend, we reload, and now we're right next to double jump. Isn't that convenient?
What?
Good stuff. This is a fun room here. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. That is the worst Ukabak RNG. Literal pinball Ukabak. I can't believe that guy. I've never seen that before. Anyway. That would have been a reset and a record attempt. It's like 3 seconds gone. Horrible. Another zip here. Ooh, barely got that. Was close. And we're into top floor. Okay, so I could go try and win. But, Oscar, I'm sure you'll agree here. Trying to defeat a final boss in a game like this with your starting weapon is ill-advised.
Yeah, kind of.
So did a glitchy quad jump there to get up top, get the robe. Décolleté, that's how it's pronounced, I think. And speed up. Now we're speed running. Now we're going to zip up to the top of Clock Tower, skip that death fight because we want to grab this int boost here. Any guesses in the chat? If you haven't seen it before, give me your best guess. What do you think the weapon of choice is going to be for the final boss? I'll give you a hint. We're going to be using Charlotte, not Jonathan. I gotta save here because if the shop gets messed up, I'm gonna be doing a little bit of memory corruption here. This has to be absolutely perfect. Alright, don't blink. I'll explain that later, but first of all, feast your eyes on this. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, what?
So yeah, now we're playing as Charlotte and Charlotte. Good intended Portrait of Ruin gameplay here. All right, so what happened? I accessed a glitched menu that allows me to basically edit the game's memory in real time. And I got myself about 8,000 MP to work with. As you can see right here, about 8,000. And I changed Jonathan into Charlotte. Oh my god, impervious mail drop. Blessed. Good marathon luck. Or hotfix luck, rather. And now we get to use all of Jonathan's sub-weapons and regular weapons as Charlotte, but with the better Charlotte intelligence. So we're going to be doing a lot more damage. The community has named this second Charlotte Jarlet. And Jarlet's going to be our main damage dealer here. As always in Portrait, whether you're talking about Jonathan or Charlotte or Jarlet, the answer is just use shurikens. What an amazing sub-weapon. Now there's a cool trick here. This was actually added back in recently. Yo, impervious mail. Sick block. But yeah, this fight's super difficult. And if you want infinite healing, there's a way to do that. There was a leftover debug option back in the day. And fun fact here, it was removed from the Dominus collection at first, but they've recently re-added it back in to be as faithful as possible to the original. Isn't that cool? I love when games do that.
Agreed.
Couple more here. There we go.
Oh. Yep, just like that. True Dracula. All right.
I'm gonna lock in here. So if I get a little quiet, gotta focus. This is really tough
No
phase
worries.
too. Yeah, that's bad news. I will try and recover this. I'm gonna have to get back into Manip, so we got some improv strats here. This could actually work. See if I can get this guy to come over here somehow. Oh, here we go. This will be interesting. Let's see if I can survive this. If not, we're going again. Jarlet. I can't. I gotta reset. Damn. Unfortunately, the weapons that Jarlet has access to are a little glitchy.
Oh, gotcha.
And with one character, with just the encyclopedia from the start, I can't win this. So one more try, much like with Axe Armor. We'll see if we can clutch it out. If not, we're going to rewind.
All right.
Dracula's been tricky today, huh?
Yeah,
Not
just a little bit.
cooperating.
You got it, though.
Okay, round two, for real. Once
Nice.
again.
All right, let's go. Chat, send all of the energy right now.
There it is. Time. Perfect.
GG.
Now, I love this ending sequence with Jarlet and Charlotte. What's cool is that once you set this glitch up, even if you save and reload, it'll remain active in this state, so it becomes permanent until you do a new game plus file. Here we go.
Oh,
the heroes of our story. Stella, Loretta, Charlotte, and Charlotte. They're all here. So yeah, overall, really good runs today, except for True Dracula. In both runs, True Dracula was really tough to deal with, but we got through. So hopefully these runs were good to watch. Thank you all for the GGs.
Those were two absolutely amazing runs of Portrait of and two just very different styles, and you did them so like it was amazing.
Oh, thank you very much.
Like always, need to ask, where can people find you? As, of course, GD, keep those coming in chat, but where can they find you and what are you currently playing?
Absolutely. So as you might imagine, I'm doing a lot of Dominus Collection. I stream Castlevania stuff between 6 and 7 days a week on twitch.tv/Jupiter Climb if you want to hang out.
Yeah. Thank you so much for stopping by, chat. Thank you for the wonderful GGs to the absolutely amazing runners we've had. But with that, we are officially done for the night. And just as an FYI, if you're just getting here and you're like, oh, heck, I missed everything. I didn't see Awfully Silly. I didn't see Express Lane. Do not worry, because stay tuned, and we're going to replay both shows after this. But as for tomorrow, make sure you're tuning in tomorrow for Challenger Approaching, and then that's followed by Speedruns from the Crypt, all starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. So until 2 weeks from now, I guess, and back when I'm in my normal place with my normal Porgos helping me out, we'll see you in the Express Lane then. Take care, everybody.